watching KTAL News Now. Here's Brittany DeFran with your midday news break.
Good afternoon and happy Thursday, or as I like to say, happy Friday Eve. I'm Brittany DeFran. We have some continuing coverage for the Taylor Parker trial and a final verdict for the Watkins trial, so stick around. Your midday news break starts right here. A Caddo Parish jury took about an hour to come to a verdict. The jury finds De-Wayne Watkins guilty of 2 accounts of first-degree murder in the 2018 shooting deaths of Heather and Kelly Joes. The couple offered Watkins a ride home from the mall, and Heather's family faithfully attended every day of the trial that began August 22nd. And they now say they're glad it's finally over.
Trying to be there for the rest of her family, but knowing there's always an empty seat at her table. And we just thank God for justice and pray for a next chapter of healing for us.
Today is the day that justice is served for Heather and Kelly. And as a family, we know that other families aren't going to have to endure what we have endured at the hands of Watkins ever again.
This now leads us into our question of the day. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a moment to take this QR code right here on your screen. You're going to open your camera phone to it. A link is going to pop up, and it's going to take you to our question of the day. Our question of the day is, do you think harsh punishment reduces crime? We want to go ahead and hear from you guys, yes or no. And this is just to ensure that your voice is heard. You can always check our question of the day on KTALnews.com. KTAL asks. Meanwhile, it's a tale of bold lies and schemes that dominated the testimony in day 3 of the Taylor Parker trial in Bowie County. If you missed this story, we have been covering the trial since it began on Monday. To get caught up on the details, visit KTALnews.com or download our app KTAL News Now. Parker is accused of murder and kidnapping in the death of 21-year-old Reagan Simmons Hancock and her unborn baby. Shocking allegations were revealed over the 6 hours of testimony. Some things revealed include Taylor telling a friend that she was a millionaire, that her mother put a hit out on her over the family's oil and gas fortune, and the Mexican mafia was involved. Prosecutors say and believe it was all in an effort to keep her boyfriend from leaving her. If convicted, Parker faces the death penalty. As football season ramps up, sports betting is getting its first real test and taste in the state. According to experts in the Gaming Control Board, expects Louisiana will hit its revenue goal. Sports betting launched in retail locations last fall and mobilely in February. Since then, $1.4 billion have been wagered on sports in Louisiana, and more than $16 million in tax revenue has been collected. There are hopes the revenue will surpass $30 million by the end of the year. All right, don't go anywhere. We have more to come in just a few. We're going to leave you guys here with our question of the day.
watching KTAL News Now. Here's Brittany DeFran with your midday news break.
Welcome back. I'm Brittany DeFran with more stories here on KTAL News Now. Louisiana State Police are investigating an officer-involved shooting in Shreveport. SPD responded to a suspicious person in the 12 Oaks neighborhood Wednesday afternoon. Around 1:40, police say 2 officers shot at an individual who is now in the hospital with life-threatening injuries. Caddo Parish Constable Patrick Young says the individual resisted police and had guns. According to a resident who lives in the neighborhood, and we had a chance to speak with him, he shared he witnessed a suspicious-looking male riding out of a driveway on a bike. The resident says another neighbor referred to this same individual and said it seemed the individual was trying to find their way out of the neighborhood. So it seems maybe that neighborhood is a little difficult to maneuver, kind of like a little bit of a maze, but thankfully no officers were injured in the shooting. Police are not sure how many times the victim was shot or the individual's motive. On to the topic of community matters, Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser and the Louisiana Office of Tourism announced a project to revitalize the Louisiana African American Trail. The announcement came during a luncheon Tuesday at Whitney Plantation in Edgard, Louisiana, one of the current trail sites, first launched in 2008 actually. The trail includes 38 sites from New Orleans to North Louisiana. 2 of those are actually in downtown Shreveport, the Southern Museum of Art and Multicultural Center up the south. They hope to relaunch it with some exciting things to come, and their hope is to continue their goal and continue building the Civil Rights Trail. Now into a money matters topic. A Shreveport-based company was recently awarded a nearly $1 billion Air Force and Department of Defense contract. On Wednesday, we caught up with the company's vice president just to see what the massive contract entails. Praesis was awarded the contract for the Joint All-Domain Command and Control Environment. That's huge, super major, and some big money to spend right there. It's to connect sensors for all the military services. The DoD anticipates the project will connect ground fighters, ships, aircraft, and satellites. On one secure tactical network as well. So that's just going to be one thing right there. And the company says they are committed to hiring local people to help with projects from this contract. Thanks so much for tuning in to KTAL News Now. We appreciate you guys for tuning in, and we'll have more tomorrow. So stay tuned with us. Going to leave you guys with our question of the day.